Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Daniel
with Kurt Bjorklund.
So at the end of Daniel chapter 6, Darius does what Nebuchadnezzar did before him, and he makes this decree. It says, King Darius wrote to all the people, nations, and languages that dwell on the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in all my royal dominion, people are to tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his dominion shall have no end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. And this is the end of Daniel 6. And this decree to me seems to be a little different here because of the phrasing of what he says about the king. It's not just, hey, don't say anything bad or I'll rip you from hand to hand. He's basically saying, it's my desire that everybody would recognize what I have come to recognize as he talks about this. When it says this, one commentator says, impacted by Daniel and by the Lord, he expressed himself, speaking of Darius, as if he had come to the point of personal trust in God for his salvation. Daniel illustrated the evangelistic potency of a godly, uncompromising life. And so the idea, at least of this commentator, is that Daniel's life was so persuasive that Darius went from being probably polytheistic to saying there really is one God who is in charge and his kingdom will never be destroyed, and I've seen God work in this person's life. And so my question really is just this, and that is your life having an impact on people around you? Do they see you living in such a way that they say there's something to this God that is worthy of examination, worthy of my allegiance? There's something different. And I would suggest, just based on Daniel 6, that if Daniel had done this little private faith thing, that instead of the king turning and saying there's something to this God, he would have simply said, yeah, his God is his God and helps him be a good guy, and there's something good about all that works, but there's a lot of good guys, a lot of good gods out there. And what happens when we choose to be more private and protective with our faith is instead of having a chance for people to see the glory of God on display and our willingness to suffer for that, they just simply see God as an option among many, one option among many. Whereas when there is a willingness to say, I will stand out for this, then there is a sense in which you see the hand of God. You know, there's a lot of parents whose kids don't end up walking in the same faith that they walk in. And so the parents have faith, and then their kids kind of grow up and they wander away from church. Maybe they come back, maybe they don't. Maybe that's a part of their journey, maybe it isn't. And the question is always why? Is it because they didn't see genuine faith in their parents? Is it just they don't see the value of it? What is it? And I would think that one of the reasons that often kids don't feel compelled by faith is what they've watched is parents who have chosen more private and protective faith rather than a faith that actually informs them at key moments. And so what they conclude is not what Darius concludes, for there's a living, enduring God, and his kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his dominion shall have no end. But instead they say, well, you know what, there's options here, and I can choose for myself and still kind of be aligned to God like mom and dad have. Maybe that's the path forward. Maybe there isn't much to this God. And when that choice is made, it doesn't cascade downline the same way that saying, I will be public in my faith. I will be willing to put myself out there. Where is your opportunity to be out there with your faith? maybe it's a place that God is going to work in some significant ways in your life.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.